Hello everybody, this is JD from JD's Mid-South RCs. Today we're going to be extending the wheelbase on this truck. I'm going to show you how to do that step by step. The only thing, and we're going to be using the bits that came with it, so it's almost free. Inside here they don't come with the pivot balls. That's the only thing you're going to need to get. You can get these from Amazon for about $10. So this mod is going to cost a little over $10 depending on shipping and some time to get it. But let's get into it. All right, here we go. We're going to open these up here. Got some scissors right here. There we go. And what you get in the bag, little extra body clip there. Put that in a place you might need later. And then here we've got 2 extra lengths. We got 2 longer, 2 shorter, and then a long drive shaft. This we're going to have to clip down, make it fit in the truck. It's not exactly the size that we need, but we'll make it work. First thing we're going to do, all right, I got a little tray here, keep track of all these little tiny parts. That way they don't get away from me. Now this kit comes with the pivot balls and the little rubber bands. Now if you want to put the rubber bands, O-rings on there, you can. It's just going to shore it up a little more. I don't use them. In this case, I would say that's your preference. Like I said, I don't use them. It helps me get a little bit more play out of the truck. All right, what we're going to do here is we are going to put these longer ones to the side. We're not going to use those on this time. We're going to use these 2 medium ones and then the ones that are in here. Okay, we're going to take out the 3 link down here and use the 4 links that are in the truck here. Let me see if I can get something to point with here. There we go. Okay, down inside here, if you can see it, we've got this piece here, this little 3-link piece, that's coming out. These ones are going to move in the place of where they are, and then these 2 are going to go where these are, and then this is going to extend this drive shaft. This drive shaft is too short, but this one's too long. So let's go ahead and start installing these here. Now, the way you're going to do this is when you put it in, there's one side it's going to go in and one side it's not. You'll be able to tell really easy. Oh, there we go. Oh, hold on a minute. Okay. When you set it on there, if I can let go of it and you can still see it, if you can see it like that, it'll set down in there just a little bit. Okay. And then you take yourself a plier, give it a little bit of a force, and it pops in, just like that. Okay. And then make sure it gets seated all the way down in there. So when you're done, it's going to look just like that. Nice and seated, coming out on both sides. You can see it on this side and that side, hopefully. Might be a little fuzzy on the camera, but that's what you're going to do. You're going to push it in one side and it's going to set. So let's do that to these others. And then what I do is, because you have to buy an entire pack and it comes with about 20 of these these pivot balls in there, I actually go through and take out all the plastic ones in the truck and upgrade them to these metal ones. There we go. One all done. Let's get this other one. Ah. It is not the funnest job to do, I'll tell you that. Especially if you got big, thick fingers like I do. You'll feel it pop in and it's set to the center, and then you just gotta persuade it to keep going. There it goes. It popped in. Persuade it to keep going. There you go. All right. Set that aside so we don't need it right at the moment. Now, we'll set these over to the side for now. And here, you can do this a few different ways. Now, you can do it and leave the whole thing together and fight with it for the most part. But the easiest way, you're going to take these wheels off. Okay, just like so. Take that off. Put that in a safe spot so you don't lose it. Wheels come off. Okay, now you're going to have this little retaining nut that holds your wheel on. The stock ones, you can leave them on there. They're not going to mess with you too much. If you got aftermarket ones, you might want to pull them out and pull the pin out because they might fall off, depending on which ones you're using. Okay, there's that and that. Now, at this point, if you haven't done it already, it's actually easier to have this body off. Now, the spot you want to take this off at to make it easier to get back in is back here. Okay, there's two little bolts. Just take them out. There's one. Put that in a safe spot. Grab the other one. Same thing, other side. There we go. Safe spot. And then the body just pops right out. Set that out of the way. Now you're going to be able to set this flat here. Now if you want, you can take all this stuff out and everything else. It doesn't really bother me none. So I'll leave it in. I'll work on it. Now we're here. You do not want to take all of them out at one time. You take all of them out, it's going to be a bear to get them all back in. You may want to unplug your servo at this point, just because the servo is going to move. Okay, it's going to move a little bit, and you kind of want it to not be in the way. So let's go ahead and take these off. Get your tool. This is a tool I use. I can take the heads off and change them out. It comes with, let's see here. It comes with this kit. So it's got one for all the hub bolts for the wheels, a little bit larger one, and then a tiny little Phillips, and then 3 different sizes of the bolts that are on the car. And for the 124s, it works phenomenal. I haven't had to get much of any other tools. But let's show you right here. We're going to take here and here, which this one is down in this little cavern down here, and then here and here, and then these 2 links will come off. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure you set your bolts so you know which hole they came out of, because they are different lengths. Or at least they should be, according to the book. Which is correct. The back one, or the one that goes in the transmission skid plate down here, is a little bit longer than the one in the front. Okay? And then your arm comes out. Your arm comes out. Grab you 2 pivot links, because unless you don't want to change them, but this one has the plastic ones in, and you've seen how you've got the brand new metal ones. You might as well push out these old plastic ones like that. There's one. Oh, I went across the room. I'll get it later. That's 2. And then put your new ones in. Now with this 3 link on the bottom, you can go ahead and take that out now. And what it's going to do is it's going to have the front screw is going to be all the way forward. Or it's going to, I'm sorry, it's going to be 1 screw. I don't know what I was thinking about all the way forward. But it's going to be 1 screw all the way through, is what I'm trying to say. The good thing about that portion of the tray is it's threaded on both sides. So you can put a screw, once you get it out to do the 4-link, you can put a screw on this side and a screw on that side. And since we've done our tray relocation, we've got a couple extra screws laying around, so we don't really have to worry about that either. Okay, now once that comes out, you can feel the whole thing just kind of move. Okay, and just keep on going because it's not exactly all the way out yet. There it goes. That's for your 3-link. And if the further you move it out, the more it'll come out, and then eventually it'll come out of that drive shaft. Okay. The drive shaft has a screw in it right back here, or bolt I should say. And you just loosen that up. Bring it out. And that little short drive shaft will pop off. I got fat fingers, so I got to use little needle nose. But that piece is out. Three-link back here. Take this one off, that one off, and that whole 3-link will come out. And if you notice, we only took the one link off, and it's given us complete access to everything else without having everything just fall all over the place. Okay, those are out. And then fish your 3-link out. There that is. Put off the side. Now take that one we've took out already, the shorter one. Pick a side. Got my little. If you work on these, you're gonna need a little bits box. That way you can have all these extra little screws and whatnots laying around. Like I said, if you upgrade one SCX24, you're going to have lots of screws and lots of other little bits laying around that you can use in other spots. So don't ever get rid of anything. Okay? So take one that we built, find that forward hole, and you're going to want to, on the outside, take your screw. Now at this point, you can put those O-rings. These are little O-rings that came with it. I don't know if you can see it in my finger there. Whoops, I dropped it. These little O-rings right here. This is when you'd want to put these on these if you're so wanting to do that. Give it a try. You may like it. My preference, I don't like it. I like the without. Some folks like the one side only. I prefer the no sides, but that's just me. Okay, that's in there. You can see it coming through the other side. Now, when you're in this rail, this little metal rail right here, it's got it's curved, so you just want to put it inside the rail, and it'll line right up with it. there's the hole. Get your bolt. Set it in there and put it in place. That one's in. Out. Same thing the other side. We successfully moved the ones that were on the bottom to now they're on the top. Now we still have play, which is fine because we're going to put different ones there. Now, let me show you what's going on here, why we're going to have to take some of this stuff off. Now, we're moving it forward. So, just so you can see it, I didn't take it off. You can take it off first so it's not in your way. But now you can see it's hitting the bumper. So, with this mod, we're going to lose our LEDs. I'll show you how to put them back on in a later video in a different location. But for this mod, we're going to lose our front bumper and our LEDs. So let's go ahead and take that off right now. So we're going to unplug those. Get those out of the way. And all this is going to be is a couple of screws underneath here. If you move the wire out of the way, there's a you can pull these LEDs. There's a little clip right here. Just open that up. And your light will pop right out. Same thing on the other side. Just open that up. Don't break it. Don't go too much because we're going to be using this later. Just enough to get the light out. There they are. There's your wiring harness for your LEDs. Put that to the side because we're going to use that later for another video. Okay. And then your screws for your front bumper are right here on either side. Slides out just like that. Okay, now we come back to work here. You're going to want this end off the other one here, and all it's going to do is just pop out of here. Okay, you're going to get yourself some pliers. Now take it off, take this part off, not this part, because you're going to need this part. Take this part off the little pin. Just like that, and separate them out. Then you just put this back together. Take the one that was in the parts kit. And with a little bit of persuasion, it goes in. There we go. Pops right in there with a little bit of persuasion. I find it easier putting these in. Go ahead and put these back in here. Now I do find it easier to put the back one in first. Okay. Everything's lined up. Now I can show you what I was talking about. See how that goes all the way up in there now? And you can see the shocks bottom out now. Could not do that with that bumper in there. So that's why we had to take it out. All right, now you get to measure your drive shaft. So you want to stick it on there. It does have a half moon shape on it, so it will only go one way. And get your front end set just a little bit. Take your finger down in there. You want it at least halfway, a little bit more. I like to try to get it at least 3/4 of the way up that shaft. And a good set of cutters. Pull it back off. Slide it all the way down on there. And a good set of cutters will nip it right off. There you go. And just take a look, make sure you got it as straight as you can. If you have to, clean it up a little bit. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to mess up the inside stuff, because those are threaded. All right. Go ahead and slide this back on. Okay. Now we got a little bit of work to do here. Put your mounting screw back in. Okay. Now, in order to get this back in, we're going to have to release one of these pins. I know we just put it back in there, but that was for measuring purposes to make sure we got it correct. Everything was setting right. So all you got to do is take one apart, and I just usually grab one of these front ones real quick because it's the most easy. Pop that back out, pop that link back out, and then this drive shaft, I mean this whole thing should rotate once we get these fronts off. There we go. Grab this one. They're out. Pop that up. Now this moves completely, and it'll make it so that you get your drive shaft up here. Line the barrel up. Rotate the whole assembly. Put them together, and then rotate these back down, put them in. There we go. There's that one. There it goes. Check to make sure it went through. Yep. Got it. Okay, other side. Okay, now there's a successful 4-link. We took out our lower 3-link and added connecting link here, connecting link here, connecting link here, connecting link here. So we used the original ones on the lower, or on the upper, I should say now, because I'm looking at it upside down now, on the upper that were on the lower. And then in our parts pack that came with the truck, we used our medium length ones for the lowers. We took the drive shaft that was in the parts package and we had to cut it down. There's the remainder. We had to cut it down so it's there. And we got a good 3/4 of drive shaft on here. And when you want to make sure you didn't tighten them down too much, does good articulation, we had to take the front bumper off so that the servo will clear the bumper. So we lost our LED lights at this time. We'll be able to put them back on. I'll show you that later. Like I said before, one more thing we have to do let's go ahead and put the wheels and tires back on so I can show you that. Put your body back on. If you hadn't figured it out already, when you put your body back on, you can tighten these screws down just a little bit so this body doesn't flap on you. When you first get them, they're kind of loose and they flap all around when you're trying to work on it. To me, it's extremely annoying. But now that we did all that, you're going to have a servo extension, which you saw me had those earlier. You're going to have a servo extension because this is your servo wire and it's not going to get to your ECU. So you're going to have a servo extension to get back there. When we put our body back down, this is what I wanted to show you. Make sure everything's all set. Now, we set it there. Doesn't look like nothing's going to happen, but we're hitting the body. Just like our bumper, we can't get any articulation. So no matter what's going to happen, our body's in the way. So the easiest way to do it, and the body already has the lines on it, where the turn signal light is, just comes straight up from there. That little axial sticker there's a line there. If you just follow that black line and then just cut it straight where those turn signal stickers are, it'll be perfect. Okay, let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you right quick. You know what? Let me see if these work a little better. Oh yeah. I got a new set of body tools and I forgot, and I'm sitting there trying to use old stuff. And these things cut like butter through this stuff. Now, let me show you what I'm doing here. This is a good tip. When you come up on the other side, cut you off little bits, because one whole thing, it's gonna give you a headache. So just cut little pieces at a time, and you can trim it up once you get it all off there. finger, get my little finisher out here. Good set of body tools will take away a lot of headaches and frustration. Okay, so this is kind of how I do it. I like the way that it looks. It's kind of neat. But now you can push this all the way down. It bottoms out, and we still have a little bit of clearance there. It's not grabbing anywhere, and we're good to go. Yep. Everything looks great. Now, when you do this, you just move the front end. So, a good thing to note is those front end shocks have just been relocated because now they're laying back. Okay, they're not straight up and down anymore. They're laying back. Let me get the body pins in here. Actually, you know what? Hook this up. This up. Okay. That way I ain't gonna undo the body again. Put the pins back in. And there we go. Now it's extended out. Got a little bit wider wheelbase. We'll go get some runs on the little course for it, and we'll show you what that did for us. See if we got what it gave us. It's a little bit easier to get up. Our entrance angle is a little bit better now. We can get up right here a whole lot easier. Same with right here. Just goes right up it a whole lot easier. Whole lot better entrance angle. Don't get stuck as easy on those right there. We're stretched out a little more so it climbs a little bit better. But that's what we got for extending the front end. We got better entrance angles. Able to get up the rougher parts a little bit easier. But other than that, that's the extended front SCX24 Deadbolt.